What happens when wrestling's most jaw-dropping scandals aren't part of the script? As wild as wrestling storylines can be, sometimes it's the behind-the-scenes stories that are even more dramatic. And today, we're looking at the real-life affairs that sent shockwaves through the wrestling world, shattered relationships, and even ended careers. Let's kick things off with perhaps the most famous story of backstage cheating, Triple H and Stephanie McMahon. Before the game and Steph were a corporate power couple, Triple H was in a very public, long-term relationship with his fellow D-Generation X member, Chyna. But things got complicated when WWE scripted an on-screen romance between Triple H and Stephanie McMahon in late 1999. What began as a storyline soon spilled over into reality, as the game and the boss's daughter began a real-life love affair. And Chyna would later claim that she discovered the affair after finding a love letter from Stephanie to Triple H. While Triple H has claimed that his relationship with Chyna was already in the process of ending, the timeline of events is still a hot topic for debate. Chyna was gradually removed from their shared storylines, and by November 2001, she had left WWE altogether. In the end, Chyna's career never reached the same heights, while Triple H and Stephanie went on to marry just a few years later, cementing their position at the top of the wrestling world. The original WWE diva Sunny and Chris Candido were together for years, long before either became mainstream wrestling stars. But their deep history didn't stop Sunny from allegedly cheating on Chris with Shawn Michaels. And according to multiple stories, they didn't even try to hide it. The most infamous detail? They allegedly had relations inside wrestling arenas, while Candido was literally in the building. Even worse, it's widely believed that most in the locker room knew about it, except Chris. This wasn't just betrayal, it was humiliation. In the mid-2000s, former Spirit Squad member Kenny Dykstra had it all. A promising career, and the beautiful Mickie James by his side. But that all came crashing down when Kenny discovered that Mickie was having an affair with the face of WWE, John Cena. In the years that followed, Dykstra has publicly alleged that his career was deliberately sabotaged after he discovered the affair. He was moved from Raw to SmackDown, but his career stalled while he was on the Blue brand, and he was eventually released in 2008. And, in an ironic twist, reports say that Mickie was also later moved to SmackDown after her relationship with Cena ended. This one lives in wrestling urban legend territory. Officially, Melina and John Morrison have denied that anything happened while they were still together. But the long-standing rumor is that Melina cheated on Morrison with Batista. Some say it even happened within the walls of arenas, while other wrestlers were in the building. Melina and Batista always maintained that the timeline doesn't overlap. But fans, wrestlers, and insiders have debated it for years. It's one of those stories where the public version and the locker room version don't exactly match up. Enzo Amore and Liv Morgan were a hot item back in NXT. And let's be honest, Liv was way out of his league. Like, not even close. Yet somehow, Enzo still cheated on her. Afterward, Liv didn't fall into a state of self-pity. Instead, she cooked him on Twitter, dropping a tweet that basically confirmed the cheating and made it crystal clear she wasn't the one who messed up. Then she did the best kind of revenge there is. She moved on, leveled up, and turned herself into one of WWE's biggest stars. Because sometimes, the real revenge isn't a promo, it's success. There's arguably never been a real-life affair that was more public or painfully woven into WWE television than the love triangle featuring Matt Hardy, Lita, and Edge. Matt and Lita were one of wrestling's most adored real-life couples, having become an item around the time of Team Extreme. But while Matt was home recovering from a serious injury, Lita, who was still on the road, began an affair with his close friend Edge. When Matt found out about the affair, he did something almost unheard of at the time. He put the entire situation on blast online, and his raw, emotional posts ultimately led WWE to release him for unprofessional conduct. But the fan backlash against Edge and Lita forced WWE to bring Matt back and turn the real-life heartbreak into one of the most personal and uncomfortable storylines in wrestling history. Wrestling has always blurred the lines between reality and storyline, But some of the wildest betrayals never made it on TV. These weren't scripted, these weren't angles. These were real lives, real relationships, and real consequences. And in some cases, they changed wrestling history forever. And speaking of controversial wrestling history, we have 6 WWE legends who have been blacklisted from the WWE Hall of Fame. Check them all out in this related video.